risk his neck for his brother, man.
Chef!
Can you dig it?
Nice.
Wow.
Chris, welcome to the new studio, my friend.
Oh, this is nice. It's beautiful. It smells like new construction in here. There's windows.
Well, there are windows. I don't know if there's any new construction. This thing's been here for at least a year and a half or so.
Well, they did something because I smell plaster.
Okay, it could be.
It just smells new construction. I don't know. There it is. I don't know what camera to look at.
That's okay. The camera setup is a little different for people joining us. The lighting is a little different for people. If you're watching on the 971 Granite Transformation Studio Cam, you can tell the difference. Yeah. We put out a picture on the Facebook page, the Marc Cox Show, yesterday, just to give people an idea what the new studio looks like, and you can see my beautiful view of the park over here with homeless people walking through it and camping out. Of course, not today because of the rain. So, well,
I watched it yesterday, and the camera was very close. So you're aging very well, Mark. I want to tell you that.
I joked because, if you've ever used one of these little portable cameras that they attach to the top of a computer monitor, it's not always the most flattering picture. Plus, sometimes I stand up when I'm talking about something. Sometimes I'm sitting down in the chair. And if I don't remember to adjust the camera, you're either looking up my nostrils or you're looking at the top of my head.
We've just had a technical glitch. I just lost all sound in my headphones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there should have a knob over there somewhere where they're plugged in.
Well, I was hearing everything, and then all of a sudden it just went out.
Okay, well,
and I turned it up. Okay,
there you go. So you bumped it or something.
Hey, you mentioned it earlier, and I want to give you this bottle of wine from Becky and I for your 25th.
Oh, how nice
of
you! Very kind. Thank you, sir. You're gonna have to take your headphones off, or you're gonna walk over. Look at that.
We need some wireless in there.
All right, a little cab.
Becky is part of
Appreciate that.
Becky is a wine investor in a wine club. It's $40.
Wow.
And she's an angel investor in that. They send her different bottles of wine every month.
Very nice. I almost did that with some bourbon club all the time. They do that with some bourbons where you pay a certain fee and they send you samples of it each month.
And you're an angel investor?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, nice.
So enjoy.
Well, thank you. That's
these new studios.
Can
we just talk about these studios for the next half hour?
Wow. Well, there's probably not a great deal they could do to improve the quality of the product of 971, but they've managed to do it here because you may notice a difference in how the shows sound.
Yeah.
And to people who aren't technically oriented like me, I didn't realize what it was, but it's a sort of an analog versus digital kind of sound difference, and that's what you're getting out of this studio is the more of the digital version of talk radio.
Oh, okay. Well,
see,
I can't wait to host.
I love technology when I don't have to figure it out. That's good. And kudos, by the way, to the engineering staff here at Intercom St. Louis. They've done an amazing job. They spent all night Sunday night moving this stuff over. In fact, we were afraid you would go to the wrong building today.
I saw that you sent me a text to make sure,
just to make sure you remembered.
And I was like, 1 Memorial Drive, right?
Yeah, that's the old KMOX Studios downtown, the old building. That's funny, or Y98 or KZK, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Now we're all in the same spot. That's good.
Very
Hey, I was looking at the headlines yesterday. I was really surprised, and I don't know if you've gotten any feedback on this or not, because I know you're in contact with a few people regarding this Greitens case.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Burleson refused the motion by the defense to throw this thing out, to just dismiss the charges, which, based on all the reporting we're getting about the lack of evidence and the pathetic handling of this from a prosecutorial standpoint, maybe he just wants the jury to make that decision instead of him. I don't know why he wouldn't just toss this thing out on its ear.
Because Judge Greitens obviously does not want to be a part of this story.
You mean Judge Burleson?
Or Judge Burleson.
Not Judge Greitens.
Judge Burleson.
Yeah,
that's why he won't dismiss this case, and that's why he also said that he will not judge the case, and this has to be a jury trial, what they call a bench trial. He said he will not accept it being a bench trial, so it has to be a jury trial. So he's basically divorcing himself to say, I am basically just a judge. Whatever decision comes down, I don't want to be any part of it.
Maybe that's because he knows that Judge Wilson from the Stockley trial basically had to leave town afterwards.
Well,
you got to wonder.
And doesn't he have some political background before he went on the bench?
Well, I don't think he was ever elected to anything, but he did work for Jay Nixon in the Attorney General's office. Yeah. I used to deal with him down here at their headquarters here downtown. when Jay Nixon was the Attorney General.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep himself out of controversy, which I don't blame him. I mean, he's not doing anything that's unlawful. He's just saying, I'm not going to judge the case, and I'm not going to throw it out. We're going to let justice take its course.
Still a little surprised.
Oh, I'm not.
What about Jeff City? What about the political aspect of this? Because I know they're looking into it down there. They got at least one committee, if not two, looking into this. And then there's the question. Now I see that Kim Gardner's trying to bring up this email question, this Concur or whatever it's called, this email system that deletes emails the minute they're sent.
Yeah.
Confide.
Yeah.
She's claiming that he used that to transmit the picture, but then the email disappeared because he was using this system, which is complete conjecture, because even if it happened, there's no proof of it.
And I think, I'm not an attorney, but it sounds like to me she's basically saying we don't have the picture, and the reason why we don't have the picture is because he used Confide to send the picture, and now it's gone. But just believe us.
Guess what? Your SOL would be one
Yeah.
one way to judge that.
But just believe us, because everything.
Is that a legal term?
What?
SOL. Or you are SOL.
Ask your daughter.
I don't know. I will have to ask my daughter that question. That's a good question. I don't know if you can use that as a legal defense or not.
I don't. No, I think somewhere where ignorance of the law is not a defense. Is that somewhere?
Maybe that's part of it.
I saw that on a Matlock interview once.
So Kim Gardner ignoring Missouri state law and using a defense attorney as a special prosecutor should not be an excuse. She should be in trouble for doing that as well.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think that this case with the governor, with these infidelities and pictures or not pictures, I think this is going to be. He's not going to be acquitted. I think where the governor has problems is with this investigation dealing with his charity, and if his campaign used the charity's mailing list, email list without its permission. I think that's what they have more to be afraid of than these other investigations.
You think so? I want to make sure you didn't misspeak there. Mm-hmm. You think the governor will be acquitted of these charges? In court?
Yes,
you do.
Yeah.
I think you said
because there's
not be acquitted.
Oh, be acquitted. I'm sorry, because there's no evidence.
No, I would agree with that.
So, yeah.
but the other situation you're talking about, the use of emails, I don't know. Like you said a minute ago, ignorance of the law is no excuse. But if I've founded an organization, which he did found that organization, and therefore he led that organization. In fact, my first interview ever with Eric Greitens was when he was the head of that charity when I was still working at Channel 4. I went down to that building and interviewed him. I remember it specifically. So if he founded that and he knew all of these people to begin with, it was his charity, why doesn't he have access to the emails from that charity?
Because even though you founded the charity, it is not your charity to do with what you want. It's still a government-regulated 501c3 and all that, and you can't use the mailing list, which is what is alleged, is that they gathered the mailing list. The person that is the head of the charity now says they don't know how they got the list. So, I mean, there's questions of was this list gotten illicitly from someone and mailed to them?
And he
doesn't own that list just because he founded the charity.
This is what Hawley's looking into, right?
Hawley's looking into that also, and then allegedly there's the FBI supposedly looking into that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's serious business. When you talk about the 501c3s.
It may be, but it's not. Again, it's not career ending.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think if it's an election law, a minor election law violation of using an email list you didn't have access to, is the allegation, does that then just throw into question the entire outcome of the election? No, it doesn't.
But what it's all going to come down to, like it always does in these cases, is if someone lies about it. And that's where somebody's going to... Did you get this email list from such and such and so at this time? No, I didn't. Well, here's the proof. Oh, guess what? You're going to jail now.
Yeah, and that's ask Mike Flynn. That doesn't work too well. All right, 314-241-9797. Chris is going to hang around for the next segment. I appreciate that. I want to talk to him a little more about the reaction we're starting to see in this Alton Sterling case. And, of course, the situation out in Sacramento where there was a guy who was caught on video committing vandalism. Police started chasing him through a backyard, ended up shooting him to death. And the family's now claiming it's going to be the next Mike Brown case, and they've got the hands up, don't shoot signs going on. We're going to get to all of that and your phone calls, 314-241-9797. We're back in a minute.